I have been asked, how is the one that's getting out of order, right? And so maybe that wasn't the best term to describe what I mean and get my point, but really my main point is that is in regards to just the whole survival idea or concept that's encoded in every living being created on Earth. In regards to that and how that plays out into just everybody trying to survive under a certain pressure, when it just comes to our fundamental needs, our primary need, when it just comes to that, um, I believe that when an animal is responding to that, even the human being, which is our flesh is animal-like, so that animal part of us, when it's responding to fulfill that primal need, it isn't an intelligent thing. It isn't a thing of thought. It isn't a conscious thing. It is the man's higher self, his spirit, his mental, his mind that controls the flesh, which can say the animal part of us. So it's that part of us has to control this part of us at all times. And that's when I was explaining in that video about having a creative mindset, our higher self, versus the animal instinctive nature to just go eat, reproduce, sleep, things like that, And in regards to self-preservation, if an individual is pressed to just survive, let me give you an analogy. Let's just say you're in a situation where your head is just above water right here, right? And I keep you in a situation where that is how you exist, and you just trying to keep your head above water. And let's just say it's about 15 other people that you know in the community or whatever else head is just above water. Now add that with the fact that you trying to keep yourself from drowning, but now you got kids that they can't hold themselves up, so now you trying to hold them up and you up. Well, that's the same example that I was making when I was speaking in regards to self-preservation. You see, being in a situation like that don't allow you to necessarily have enough sympathy or concern for the others who are drowning or who are trying to stay up above water and so on. And so when you think about it, in a day-to-day life and living, the system is created to keep everybody divided and survive and somewhat like struggling and just trying to keep their head above water. So when you have those kind of pressures, anything that you do is not necessarily not all things you do is a conscious act or an intentional act. And you sometimes, in trying to keep yourself alive, you maybe sometimes unintentionally hurt others. Mm-hmm. And that's what people say it's a dog-eat-dog world. Well, that's what sometimes happens when everybody trying to survive. Some people gonna get caught in the crossfire. Right. Unless everybody's working together and the individuals are using their mind, their higher self, to control that law of self-preservation, and like everybody get creative and find a way for the whole group to survive. Because whether we're using our higher self or our lower self, if we're not working as a unit, people gonna fall by the wayside. That's just the whole design of it all. If we ain't striving together, then we striving against each other. So that's basically what I was meaning about that whole bucket, crab in the bucket quote or cliche or whatever it is. That's what when I thought about that, we tend to tell people you got a crab in the bucket mentality because they trying to say it themselves too. They trying to get out of their situation too. And if they didn't intentionally mess over you, then even intentional messing over you isn't a crab in the bucket mentality. That's something else. If they didn't intentionally messing over you, that could be used as a crab in the bucket mentality. However, when you think about the crabs in the bucket, them pulling another crab back down isn't an intentional or intelligent act. It's just everybody trying to survive, and they trying to grab the first thing that's going to help them get out, and it just so happen to be another crab. But anyway, that's I hope that clarified.